Now standing west of the city, and this big compound in front of you is the former Herodian palace in Jerusalem. Okay, and so you see these three tall towers that were part of the compound, as well as the rest right there surrounded by a wall, and you see the two orange rooftops facing each other. The whole thing was the main Herodian palace in Jerusalem. This is where the wise men met Herod in his palace. How many wise men were there?
No.
Three?
There was more than that. There's around 50.
We don't know. There's no number.
Oh, you think they had a whole...
I believe it was a very large delegation.
Yeah.
I don't think there was three.
That's why Herod was upset.
Right. The reason why we usually talk about three is the three gifts that were presented to Jesus. Okay, but it was most likely a larger delegation. Anyways.
Did the Persians have competition for Jerusalem? Was this an unsettled area?
First of all, we don't know that they were Persian. Again, it's a tradition. We know that they came from the east. We don't know exactly where from. Okay, tradition would put it. The Magi, yeah, it could be Central Asia. It could be, northern India.
No,
it could be.
Magi was first mentioned in Babylon, and it means that the Persian conquered Babylon.
I know, yeah, but again, that general area, those borders shifted and changed all the time. So it's a tradition. We call them today Persian.
Daniel had disciples, and informed them?
Possibly. Again, I don't want to go in there because there's a lot of different, explanations and teachings about that. But let's say safely that they came from the east. Okay, whether it was modern-day Persia or Afghanistan or one of those areas, it really covers a very large area. But in any case, they came from the east, and they had knowledge, of course, of astronomy and these type of things, and basically they followed the star. And they came over to Jerusalem. So this is where Herod the Great welcomed them and invited them over to his palace. And you remember that he tried to trick them into telling him the whereabouts of baby Jesus, right? So this is the setting for that. This is where it happened. The three tall towers that you see there were named after the three dearest and closest people ever to Herod the Great. And those were, on the left-hand side, the big tower was called Phasael. It was named after his older brother who committed suicide. The one behind it was called Hippicus, after his best friend who committed suicide. Sorry, no, he didn't commit suicide. Herod actually executed him. And then the other tower over there was named after Miriam, his beloved wife. He had several wives, but that was his favorite wife, whom he also executed. So he definitely had some issues, but at least he named, important buildings after people he loved and cherished. And, it is said that when the emperor in Rome heard about how he arranged for the assassination of two or even three of his sons, and he made a comment, which was a play on words in Latin, they would be far better off to be one of Herod's pigs than one of his sons. Okay? And you know that the word for pig is just almost the same as the word in Latin for son. And so, obviously, he was a Jewish king, and, he would not be seen probably eating, pork in public, but he had absolutely no trouble eliminating any threat, both external as well as at home. And this really goes to show, a little bit about the psyche of that really psychopath, when you come to think about that. He was really an early symbol of the Antichrist, okay, that Herod.
How tall would these walls have been that protected the city?
Very tall. They were tall. It's hard to put a figure on that, but I believe that they were probably at least as tall as the walls of the old city today, which are approximately maybe 15 meters, something like that, and so at least that. Okay, now, before we go into the front of the book, there's one other thing that I want to point out, and then we'll go indoor, and that is, again, the $1 million question, which is to do with the question of where was Jesus executed, right, crucified, and where did they bury his body, and where he rose from the dead 3 days later. Well, the short version of this is I don't know. Okay? Good answer. The longer version would be that there are two major schools of thought. And I'm just going to present the facts before you, and you make up your own mind. The first of which is the traditional school of thought, and when I say tradition, I'm talking about the Catholics and the Greek Orthodox and many of the more traditional churches, they will argue the following. The trial of Jesus took place at the Antonian fortress. You see those towers over there, you see the stairs leading up there. This is where Pontius Pilate washed his hands, scourging Jesus and sending him on his way to be crucified. And they will argue that they sent him out in our direction. Okay, you see, not this wall, but the next one over. And in front of that other wall, there's a rock sticking out there on the ground. You see that? Again,
The rock.
a little closer. Beyond these little homes with the terracotta rooftops, on the ground, there's a rock sticking out in front of that inner wall. Okay? This is where the Church of the Holy Sepulchre is at today. Nowadays it's inside the old city. So the Via Dolorosa, the way of the agony, the way of the suffering, is from point A, which is the fortress, and point B, which is that wall. Does this make sense? Ignore this wall. This wall was not there. Okay? Nor were these houses. This was all just a natural looking area. What you should focus on is the area further in, which was behind that other wall. That was Jerusalem at the time of Jesus. Okay? Now, the alternative to this is something called the Garden Tomb. The Garden Tomb. The Garden Tomb will point to another location, okay, as being the place where Jesus was crucified, or he was buried, and of course there's the empty tomb there today. And that would be not to the west in our direction, but to the north, over to the left. So again, starting point is the fortress. And now move all the way across to the left until we get to the wall. You see that wall? Curve? Just a little further to the left, there's a wide road. And behind that, there's a wall of little pebbles. See that? This is where the Garden Tomb is at. Okay? So these are the two possibilities, okay? The possible routes. Either this way or that way. By the way, the two options are only a few hundred yards apart. That's it. Okay? So in any case, it was on this side of the city, outside the city wall. All right?
Garden of Gethsemane. Is it?
The Garden of Gethsemane is at the base of that porch. It would be down at the bottom there, on the other side.